Okay, so this is the introduction to the weight of the money system. I just want to run over a couple of basic pointers, along with a general overview of how the system came about and where it's headed over the next couple of months. Now basically I released the core Easy Trader system, which is about taking relatively long-term positions of a few hours on a trade with a relatively large stakes, and I released that system about 2 months ago, 3 months ago, thereabouts. And when I released it, I got a very good response from the market. People were very enthusiastic about it. But one problem that I had was there were a lot of punters out there who didn't have a massive bank, so they couldn't be trading with £200 or £300 at a time, and they weren't available to trade during the British horse racing hours. They were working 9 to 5, which is obviously the situation that most people are in. So I wanted to produce something that was of use to people who were trading, who were able to only trade with a very small bank, and who didn't have a massive amount of skill, i.e. the vast majority of people who are buying systems nowadays, and the vast majority of people who are trading on Betfair. And I got hold of a copy of Adam Todd's BetTrader software, which I do heavily recommend. I got hold of a copy of that about 2 months ago, something like that, and I started playing around with it and looking for ways to get people out the day jobs, basically. And this is what I came up with, the weight of the money system. Basically, you can use the system on the greyhounds. You can use it on the American horse racing, along with the Australian horse racing. I'll just scroll. You see, this is the American horse racing. Obviously, the Australian horse racing starts fairly late at night, but I don't know, maybe you work funny hours, so it is also an option. You can even use it on the place markets in the on the British racing. So I'll just go to the next race, and we'll just see how efficient the place market is at the moment. Obviously, you're going to have because this one you've got any three to place, you can have a fairly big overround of 300% on either side. So that's why the overround looks insanely inefficient. It's not that inefficient. But you can see these we'd probably be looking to trade on Easter, Ogle, Jadiran, and Mujasaf. Is that Mujasaf? I guess. But anyway, you'd probably be looking to trade on those three because they're fairly low price, but you're really not going to get much movement out of a 1.27 shots. You'd ignore that one. Probably ditto for the 1.52 shot, although you might have a go at trading on Lewis Island. But anyway, that's an overview of the markets that the system works on. My favourite in terms of using the system is the greyhound markets, especially during the evening. The greyhound markets tend to finish at about 6:30 and then kick off again at 7:30, and then you've got this evening racing, as you can see. But anyway, that's the kind of markets we're looking to trade on. In terms of your starting bank, you can probably start with a very small bank of maybe 50 or 100 quid, and obviously that'll limit your stakes somewhat. So for example, if you're looking to trade on, for example, this one here, Jadiran, you need to be able to both back and lay it. So you can see here your limit liability if you were to lay this will be £15 at 4.3. So if that goes out, which it apparently is doing, and you went out to say, I don't know, 5.0, your liability would be £60. So you'd have to drop your stake down to fit with that. So you'd probably be trading with, say, £12 per time or whatever if you only had a £50 bank. But you can certainly start with a bank of 50 quid. It's not going to pose too many problems, certainly while you kind of get used to it. And also, even if you start with a 50 quid bank, after a few days you should have made enough from it for that bank to be 50, 70, 80 or 100, and it should start building. And once you get to a bank of 150 quid, for the kind of trading that we'll be doing in the illiquid, inefficient markets, you're really not going to have too many problems. So the system does involve you using a very small bank relative to other trading systems, and that's part of its beauty. Okay, so we've covered the kind of meetings that we're looking to trade on, i.e. the greyhound, American horse racing, British horse racing in the place markets, and Australian horse racing. From the other two trading videos, you should be aware of what we're looking to avoid in a race and what we're looking to get in a race in terms of liquidity and in terms of the general price of the favourites and those kinds of things. One other thing that I do want to touch on though is when I released the system, which is only a few days ago. As you can see, it's the 8th of February now. When I released the system a few days ago, I was looking to just release a few copies and then start adding more and more trading videos, and within a few days have a load of trading videos in there that actually demonstrate proper use of the weight of the money system. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on which side of the fence you're sitting on, I had a massive response from people who wanted a system, and basically I've just not had time to get any kind of a proper system done in terms of demonstration videos. I wanted to do 4 or 5 and release them with a package, but initially that isn't going to happen. What's going to happen is I'm going to have to release them via the newsletters as I update them and start adding them to the system. So that is something to be aware of if you're wondering why there's only one trading video with the system at the moment. It's because I've only done one trading video. I've just literally not had the time. I've been that rushed off my feet. I haven't had the time to do all the trading videos that I wanted to do. But that is something that will be dealt with over the next couple of months. But anyway, that's a general overview of the weight of the money system. You've got the ebook. You do have a few other videos, training videos that you can refer to and just browse through and check out. Other than that, my advice is stick to the plan that I lay out in the guide. Test it out, see how you do with it. By all means, get a copy of the BetTrader software. I heavily recommend you do that, very heavily, and that can be got from easytraderpro.com/BetTrader. And once you get hold of that, start with small stakes, i.e. £2, £5, just experiment. Stick to the plan that I laid out in the guide. Give it a couple of weeks and you can't go wrong. Anyway, you'll be hearing from me over the next few weeks as I look to release those additional trading videos. In the meantime, try and follow the steps I lay out in the system. They really are there for a reason. Pay particular attention to the psychology section, and if you ever feel like you're missing out on anything, go back and reread it, and I'm sure I will have covered it at some point in one of the guides. You really do have a lot of information there. But anyway, you'll be hearing from me, as I say, in the next few weeks with more training videos. In the meantime though, I do hope that you enjoy the weight of the money system, and that it's extremely profitable for you.